Hello, skipper. Hello, navigator. Half a minute to go. Okay.
Good morning, good evening, and good night, and also hello. Kia ora. Welcome to Baboon Yodel from the inside. The isolation continues for most of us around the world. Definitely in New Zealand, we are still in alert level 4. I am your host, Renee Church, and of course we are joined by Ed Amon. Ed, how are you going?
Take your pants off, take your pants off, take your pants off. I'm having fun.
Is it a J-Lo song?
Take your pants off.
I don't
know. It sounds like that. I've heard in at the background of J-Lo songs, there's sometimes this kind of chorus going on.
Sounds real J-Lo.
Maybe.
On the topic of like songs with hidden things, there's like have you know the song it's an Usher song, the doo 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 doo, you know that song?
Oh.
By Usher? In the club with my homies.
Lean Back? No. What's that song?
I think it's
Jesus
in the
Christ.
club or something.
In the club.
But like there's a if you listen closely, if you haven't noticed it before, there's every beat, like every time the beat comes back around, there's a really incessant excuse me. Oh my god, my voice is gone.
It's choking. This is so emotional. Usher is so emotional for you that you're coming in your throats.
Oh my god. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, Renee is having some difficulties, technical difficulties with her throat. I think that needs to be cleared out.
Oh my god, what happened? Anyway, I'll push on through. There's I really left you guys on a cliffhanger. There's an incessant triangle going in the song. It's like,
right.
but it happens like throughout the song. Go listen to that song by Usher, and you won't be able to unhear it. It's like a triangle solo.
Triangle solo. What does that mean?
You know the triangle, that little metal triangle, and you go ding.
Oh, that's the. All right, that's a musical instrument.
Yeah,
the triangle.
It definitely is. Maybe I'll try to find it because it's like throughout the song. Hang on, it's the Usher song. Usher, this is Usher. Oh, yeah. I think it's three.
Yeah, and I say yeah.
Wait. You hear it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That was it.
You noticed the triangle, and you didn't notice the deep lyrics.
No, I just noticed the triangle.
That's great. That's you got a keen ear for triangles.
Thank you so much. Also, my brother pointed it out to me, so I didn't observe it by myself.
That's I was giving you a compliment and you just completely shitted on it.
Well, I just wanted to be
embarrassed
honest.
And bad. Fuck your brother.
Wanted to be honest, and I just wanted to pass on the knowledge that he's passed on to me.
Do you think our podcast is an honest podcast? We do honest things.
I have been honest every step of the way. I'm here for the right reasons.
I'm lying my ass off every day.
Damn.
You have no idea how much lies I've told in here. I mean the Chileans know. They can read into it, but everybody else just thinks whatever I'm saying is the truth and the final truth. I am the Alex Jones of Baboon Yodel.
Dang, you never know who you're sharing a microphone with, eh?
Yeah. You never know you get a virus. Anyway, so what were we talking about?
We hadn't even started the podcast yet. We're talking about Usher, of course. But how's your isolation going?
It's great. Everything is going fantastic. I'm feeling good. As I was talking about, you got to take your pants off once in a while. Let it breathe. You
do have to let it breathe.
You gotta let it breathe. Even though it doesn't have breathing mechanisms there in your groin area, you just need to ventilate your body to achieve that well-being and wellness that you need in your body to beat that virus.
Yeah, man.
You need that well-being. So take your pants off, leading to killing coronavirus. That's the
new story.
That's the new story.
What have you been doing in your downtime and lockdown to stay sane, like to mentally stay healthy? Because physically, it's very important, but mentally, how are you holding up?
Well, mentally, I close my eyes, think of people I
Think of
hate,
England.
and think of people I hate, like a few. I wouldn't name names, and and then I feel agitated for a minute, and then I'm fine. So but this is good because agitation. I need agitation in my life to stay alive. So that helps me.
You need to
The
be annoyed to stay
annoyed.
sane.
Yeah, my equilibrium state is an annoyed state.
Wow,
Yeah, so I'm doing that. Well, generally, we have work. I'm still working from home,
you are.
so I still have work duties and calls, and I think working from home, I've noticed is a lot more work than working in the office
I'm wondering
because
about that because I'm not. My job doesn't require that I work at all, which is great. But how are you finding it working from home? Like, is it really? Is it? Would you prefer to be in an office? Like, I mean, I know we can't be in an office,
yeah.
but is it? Or do you hate working from home, or do you like it?
No, I can't work from home too long. I mean, it has to be like a 50-50 thing. We can learn after coming out of this lockdown that we can stay 2 days out of the week or 3 days out of the week or something like
Mm.
that, work at home, and then you have a good balance going on. But now, because when everybody is home, everybody wants to have a meeting all the time, and then everybody wants to ask, "How am I feeling?" Nobody asked me about my feelings before when I was working, and I was fine with it. Now everyone wants to know how I'm feeling. What did I do yesterday? What did I do over the weekend? Previously, you would go to the kitchen area in the office and you say, "How was the weekend?" And you'll say, it was okay, it was good." That's it. Now you have to explain, give details. What did you do over your weekend?
Yeah, and
So
you don't like that. You don't like the invasion of privacy. You want to keep it close to the
I want to
chest.
keep it that way. I'm opening up more without meeting people. When I was meeting people, I was not opening up at all. I want to go back to that state
Yeah,
of not opening up to people.
you don't feel like you
And
want to open up to people. Like you want that human connection.
yeah, I want that human connection, but I've got that through the Baboon Yodel, where I reach millions of people through my shenanigans. And yeah, I want to go and talk to people. But outside, I'm talking about that's the work issue. Outside of work, yeah, I really want to get out. I want to talk to people. I want to shake hands, get into an Uber. An Uber guy, I miss that question in the Uber when they say, "Where are you from?" And I say, "I'm from Pakistan." "Ooh, I'm from India." And then they think that there will be a great conversation coming, but nothing happens. So, um, remember, I used to have so many Uber stories and train stories previously
Yeah, your whole
that
thing
I,
was like getting in an Uber and getting on a train. My whole thing was this customer at work, but now I don't have any of those stories anymore.
no, so it as kind we're getting more creative. We have opened up new characters. We have Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy,
Jeremy.
how are
Yeah,
you?
yeah, Jeremy's always there.
Love
He's
Jeremy.
simmering under the podcast. We
He's
have to
always
bring
a,
him
a
back.
threat to this podcast. At any given moment, Jeremy could arrive, you know?
Pop in. Yeah. So it's. I mean, it's good. I'm not really complaining. I'd rather be safe and
Mm,
continue that this lockdown. I mean, everybody is complaining that, oh, lockdown, blah blah blah. I'd rather be safe, you know.
me too.
And
It does put my mind at ease, to just be inside, not contracting anything. Um, but for your mental health, it's hard. I find that for my mental health, it really isn't good for my mental health if I watch um any number of TikToks.
oh yeah,
Have you watched any TikToks? Do you have the
I
app?
know my vice is something different.
What is your
I'm on
vice?
Reddit. My vice is on Reddit and
Oh, is
going
that is
through
does that get your blood
public
going?
public. No, no, just public freakouts. I just look at public freakouts. I would suggest everyone who's listening, our esteemed listeners, and you as well,
Thank you.
subscribe to the subreddit public freakouts. It will change your
I
life.
love it.
And then
I've never been on
the,
Reddit
the,
before.
you should check it out because there's like a, an array of public freakouts, and then there's related related groups as well, which is instant karma.
Ooh, good
You
John
know what I
Lennon
mean?
song.
Is there a song called Instant
Yeah, by
Karma?
John Lennon. He also has a song called Isolation.
Im- and Imagine as well, is it?
And we cannot forget. Oh,
And we
okay. Maybe
cannot
I'll
forget.
check out Reddit.
Check out. You don't have to sign up to get to
Okay.
these subreddits. You can just install the app. And the thing is that these are so insane. You can see the fringes of the society, how people react in certain times, public
I
freakouts.
feel like I
We
get
sh-
that on Twitter though. I feel like
oh no,
s-
this is videoed.
oh oh what?
This is constant. This is a lot of it.
Oh my
You will
god.
I'll share with you some of my favorites,
Yeah.
and then you can enjoy it.
Okay.
So this is one of our lockdown suggestions to everyone in the world who's
Yeah.
listening.
I'd recommend
Subscribe to
Reddit
Public Freakouts,
and not
and
TikTok. TikTok is frustrating in a number of ways. It's all just good looking, like attractive, rich people, predominantly
fuck
white, but
them,
a
fuck
few
them,
different races
fuck
too.
them, fuck them, fuck them, fuck
And
them.
it's just
All right.
like they're just all white and they're all just like, hey, so like this is my day. I just watched one. She was like, so I'm a travel like a air hostess, and I was in Rome the other day, and then I was in the suburb of Africa, and like now I'm in like America, and now I'm back home, and it's really beautiful. We stayed in these hotels, and it was like, oh, just shut up, like. Like it was literally a brag video. Like, look at me, I'm so hot, and I stay in hotels, and I get to go everywhere. Like, there's like I hate everything about it. Like TikTok does not make me. Occasionally, it'll get me laughing, but
Yeah,
it's TikTok is just hot people either
yeah,
rubbing their hotness in my face or
yeah.
trying to be funny. And there's no two worse things in my mind than that.
Well, we try to be funny as well,
But
but we are actually funny.
I mean, Ed, you're a good looking dude, but for me, I'm like, I'm I look like a member of Hanson, so all I've got is comedy. You know?
Well, that's a good comparison. I mean, have you ever contacted them?
No,
Have you
I
let them
do
know?
you know one time
I'm your doppelganger
I
from not the 90s.
one time I bought a t-shirt that had a picture of Hanson on it and it had the Nirvana logo underneath just because I thought it was
Mhm.
funny. It was a funny joke. And I wore it to the supermarket and the lady was like, "Oh, is that you on your t-shirt?" Like she genuinely said that. I was like, "These are
Oh
three
man.
10-year-old boys." So,
I should reveal something to you,
yeah,
because when Henson came out, I was pretty young, like in my tens or
in
something.
your
I
teens.
don't know. So they I never knew, because they were singing in their childish voices. So I never knew what gender were they identifying with. So I had and I kept it to myself because I felt like a fool that I would ask that questions. Are these boys or girls or what's happening
In
there?
this day and
But I
age, it's
never.
totally, I mean, it's they're heroes in this day and age.
Yeah, they I mean that it's fine, but I couldn't. But the thing is, as soon as they start growing up and then you see the jawline develop, and I'm like, all right, and now I can understand what's happening here. But I had no idea. I actually did a search and to find out, because I didn't want to ask a question to seem insensitive, but I wanted to know that are they little ladies, or is just young boys who
Little
are not
ladies.
are not pubescent yet, you know.
No. Well, I
So
mean, they do look quite feminine. And maybe they're the word's androgynous, and maybe that's why I get mistaken for them a lot because
are you androgynous?
no, but I just have I don't know. I don't know. I just maybe they look feminine is the whole thing.
Yeah, but you look like them when they were new. I mean, now there's no comparison.
Well, no. Now they're
No,
like
no.
they've been to the
Yeah.
gym and they look a bit more traditionally masculine.
It's like your body, when you watch their videos, you looked at them and your body realized, all right, that's the look I'm going for. I'm going to stop here. Let's stop.
Yeah, let's let's finish on handsome. Um, well,
No,
no,
I'm just
well,
joking. I mean, you are way more prettier than them because look at them, what they are doing. We've got a podcast.
I
What do they have?
exactly. No,
What do they have?
I get comparisons. Like my boyfriend says that I look like I could be a female Steve Buscemi, and
Ah,
I that's so offensive to me because Steve Buscemi is the like notably the ugliest man in Hollywood.
I think he's just being malicious. I don't think there's
No,
any.
he said it as
I didn't
like
think.
as a compliment. He was like, "No, he's a Hollywood actor. That's a compliment." I'm like, he is the most unattractive man on record.
Well, Elf was a Hollywood character as well, and um, it doesn't mean that you're a very good looking person. Um, if you're compared to that, it doesn't have to be a compliment. If I if I start comparing you with the Al Pacino from um, not yeah Al Pacino from the Irishman,
Yeah.
it's not going to
Oh,
be a
Robert De
compliment.
Niro.
Or Robert De Niro from.
I do a good Robert De Niro impression too.
Let's do it. Let's
Well,
do
no,
it.
I can't. No, it's like a face thing.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I want to hear it.
You can't hear my what?
Just say a word while making that face.
But I can't do it. I don't know what his voice sounds like. I just know I can look like him.
All right.
I don't know.
Okay.
This isn't good. Lockdown has got me comparing myself to men. I don't compare myself to women. I compare myself to men.
Talking about men, like George Clooney is a man.
He is a
Right?
man.
He's a man. He's what do you think about his demeanor?
He's a good looking dude. I'm definitely not fascinated with him that I am some other Hollywood male starlets. But my grandma really likes George Clooney.
Male starlets.
Starlets.
All right. Male starlets.
What do you want from me, Ed?
George Clooney is a famous male starlet. That's how the news reads. Famous male starlet George Clooney.
Shut up.
Today,
I read a lot of
shit
like
his pants.
women's magazines when I was a kid.
All right, so he's pretty, and he's one of those guys who's aging well.
He is
Don't you think? Yeah, he's one of those guys who's aging well. So some people don't really age well. You remember Friends?
I do remember Friends.
You know Matthew Perry,
Yeah.
Chandler from Friends,
Yeah.
right? He has not aged well.
I would
Don't you think?
have to agree. When you look at the difference between then and now, it's massive.
It's completely massive. I mean, David Schwimmer has aged well. I mean, he hasn't aged at all. He looks the same.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston, she's aged pretty well.
Yeah, she has. She
Lisa
has.
Kudrow looks a little older, but she still looks great.
Yeah, she's very nice. She's aged well as well.
And
What was
Courtney Cox had a bit of surgery.
Courtney Cox tried to stop the aging process. I think she's trying to stop that.
Yeah,
But we'll see how it goes.
yeah.
I
We'll
think she's on that.
we'll all wait and see how that goes for her.
She's on that lip wagon. Have you seen
Oh, I
that
hate
this
the
new
lip
thing that
wagon.
happened with the lips? Yeah, that's she's on. I think we've talked about it before. She's on the lip wagon. So so we were talking about, who were we talking about?
George Clooney.
George's Clooney.
Georgina
Cloonister. Clooney. So what has happened is that now George Clooney has won a battle to build a toilet in his garden, in his UK residence,
God.
the house that he have in the UK. He's won a big fight with the council and the government to build a toilet. Now the problem was, listen.
I'm listening. I'm listening, Ed.
This is a huge problem. You got a 12 million pound pad, right? You got a 12 million pound pad, which is like about $24 million New Zealand.
Yeah,
right.
It's a lot of money, a lot of
And
coin.
but you gotta have a toilet outside. I mean, you have enough. You have like 25 toilets inside.
You gotta act
But you
like
need-
it's the 1910s and no one has a
Yeah.
toilet inside. You gotta go out.
Yeah, you gotta have a toilet outside. So lovely, curious George, what he did is that he's got a big garden, a back garden, and he wanted to build a thing like a shed with a toilet in
Mm,
there. Now, obviously, it's a $12 million thing, up £12 million place, so it's a big garden, I would assume.
assume.
So so in case of emergencies, he had to take a shit. He wouldn't have enough time to get back into the actual building to do it. So he needs to have that thing outside,
Do you
right?
reckon that's why he's building it? Is because he just has like Crohn's disease and he's like, anywhere, anytime, I need a crapper, I need a toilet outside so I can into get to a toilet ASAP.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I think he's having bouts of diarrhea when he takes a walk outside. So he needs to go someplace to do it.
Just go in the
And
garden. Nature's fertilizer.
or maybe the wife has said that your shit smells like a dying raccoon. So you better go outside
Go
and have a
outside
shit.
and have your own toilet because it smells so bad.
You're only allowed to pee inside, but if you got to take a shit, you go outside.
I
All right.
mean, I kind of love that idea because there's no like bad smell in the house.
That's true. You don't want a dying raccoon smell in the house.
No.
But and obviously his wife, her name is Amal, I think,
Oh yeah.
and she's a big, huge human rights lawyer and all that stuff. I'm sure her poop smells like rose
Oh,
petals, right?
100%.
100%, right? She doesn't even poop.
I was about
I
to
think
say she probably doesn't
it's
even poop.
it doesn't happen. It just
But
whatever
Clooney, on
she
the other hand,
eats.
taking big dumps. Doesn't
Big,
he have a
huge.
famous story about dumping in a with the pig and the thing?
Did he dump with a pig?
I'm gonna find this story and post it
Yeah.
on social media because there's a story. This isn't the first time he has taken a dump.
Oh no.
Anyway, continue with your
Okay.
story.
All right. Okay. That's breaking news. We'll stay tuned for that in the social media, or we can talk about it next week.
Okay.
So yeah. So Amal Clooney, she doesn't poop or anything. She's got it just goes inside, and they're like tiny unicorns in her small and large intestine. They just eat it in there, right? And then it just all just dissolves. So she doesn't poop at all. So George, though, as you said, takes huge dumps, so he has to make this toilet. But he chooses a place where there is a protected tree. So his dumps, there was a big chance that his dumps would infect or ruin this protected tree,
Oh.
right? So, I mean, you gotta have a fight to have that, right? So you can't just move your toilet to another place. You gotta have a fight to have that toilet in on top near the tree
So
to
his
contaminate it
his
with
fight
your
is that
shit.
he needs a secondary toilet outside, and he wants it to endanger a historic tree.
Yeah,
He
but it
literally wants to
has
put his shit in front of, ahead of history.
yeah. He initially he did. But now what has happened is that the council has come back and he's won a thing, is whatever he's won is a very important story in these pandemic times.
Mm.
So so the council's forestry team has said that it will compromise the tree root, but you can put the toilet somewhere else. And I think that is their next option. Um, and they have to move the loo to a new spot in the extensive grounds, what it says here.
Interesting. So he's having to compromise where he's putting it.
Yeah, I
That's so
mean,
big of him.
obviously, it's quite a nice gesture. I mean, I quite admire George Clooney for doing that.
It's so
He's
nice of
done
him,
great
eh?
work in the past. He's done great humanitarian work in the past for Darfur and in Sudan, and this is one of the ones. It's saving the planet. We don't want to kill the tree in the backyard.
No.
You will definitely kill all the worms that will be in the ground that will get in touch with the poop that is going to be coming down with
True.
all that freaking coffee he keeps drinking all the time. Obviously.
Yes, he must have the biggest dumps. He's like the
Yeah.
Nespresso guy. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this is why he needs a crapper like at all times because he's just having
All the
espresso
time,
every hour.
every hour on the
Oh my
hour.
gosh, this is all making sense now.
It's like it all comes together,
It really
and we
does.
found it out. We broke it.
We found it.
We
We
broke
figured
that
out the
news.
George Clooney outhouse conspiracy.
Yeah, yeah, that's a new. The Tom Hanks
Is,
is sick, so we'll just talk about Clooney now.
is that the new is it the episode title? George Clooney outhouse conspiracy.
Yes, that's our. That's where he creates these strategies around controlling the world
Yeah, man.
by by just dumping his poop after having a coffee. So that's why the whole world is controlled by these pods now. And you know what's going to happen?
What's gonna
He
happen?
has the cure. He has the cure. He has the cure for it.
Do you reckon?
But he's not going to give it. He's not going to give it. He's not going to give it. He's just going to have a toilet building empire. So people will ask him to make toilets in their backyards, and he'll make a lot of money out of that and control the
Oh my
world.
god, he is. He is.
I'll work on the conspiracy theory a little bit more.
No,
But
I believe every single thing you are saying. It's all true.
well, in their house, there's some interesting things in their house. If you want to know,
Yeah.
you want to know. All right, great. I think our listeners want to know as well. So, the couple paid £12 million for their home on the banks of River Thames. So it's quite close in London
Oh.
to London. Um, and right after their wedding 3 years ago. Since then, now we're just talking about the additions that they've done in their house because everybody needs to know. Since then, the family has added indoor and outdoor swimming pools.
Indoor and
Right?
outdoor. This guy
Yeah.
needs
So you,
indoor and outdoor everything.
yeah, indoor toilet, outdoor toilet, etc. And 18 CCTV cameras.
Oh,
I
oh,
mean,
that's kind of handy if you're a celebrity.
but if that's a conspiracy, what's he trying to hide?
His shits.
It's
He's gonna go outside now. He's gonna film himself going to the bathroom. We have a record of him going outside, and you know he's only going outside to use the facilities.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like a 12-seater cinema, an editing suite,
What's he
a
editing?
well, he edits all these propaganda videos about coffee.
It's like
Yeah.
Alex Jones style. So.
Yeah. And an outdoor dining area.
That's nice. That's
Yeah,
class, you know.
tennis court,
Okay.
new bathhouse, and self-containing living quarter for a nanny.
This sounds so like I would isolate there 100%. Like that sounds so nice.
I would definitely love to self-isolate with George Clooney.
That sounds
you know.
so good. Man,
It's
there's so
good,
much
it's good.
space. Imagine having that
So-
much space.
Dreams. I mean, once this podcast like hits, it's I mean, it's very famous now. Thousands of downloads, thousands.
Everyone
of
loves
that's
us.
Very good. Everybody loves this. It's great. And but once the money starts rolling in, George Clooney can step aside
We're gonna
'cause
buy
I
that
will
outhouse off him.
and shit in his toilet.
Is that the dream that you just want to take a dump in George Clooney's toilet?
George Clooney's toilet. That's the dream. Next time I go to the UK, I'm going to contact him and say, listen, can you show me your backyard? So,
And he'll be like,
And,
yes.
yes, and he'll take his pants off. Anyway, so so that's the story about George Clooney. We kind of mined it through quite deep in that story.
We really
because
did.
it was a stupid story about somebody wanting to build a toilet in the backyard, but we are creative people and we have nothing else to do during the
We really
lockdown,
don't. I don't
so
have much else to do, man. I'm just watching TV, just
That's
listening
great.
to pods. Like I'm doing nothing, man.
You know, there's some good George Clooney movies. Do you know what I mean?
He really is. He is heaps.
W-
What's
What's your
favorite
favorite?
George Clooney movie? I'm gonna look up George Clooney movies.
Ah, you asking me? Can you hear me still?
I can.
All right, George Clooney movies. I love Syriana, but it's like a very serious movie.
Oh my
I don't
god, I
think we
haven't
have
seen
watched
any
it.
George Clooney movies.
Really?
I'm
I
looking
mean,
and I haven't
you
seen
gotta
any of these.
you gotta watch. Like Up in the Air is a really good movie. I mean, you've seen Ocean's 11.
No,
You haven't seen Ocean's 11?
nah.
Oh man, that's a good movie. Up in the Air is a good movie. Oh brother, where art thou?
I literally
Fantastic
haven't
movie.
seen any of these movies. Like I know of the like some of them, but I haven't seen any of these. Oh, South
From
Park movie,
dusk
I've
till
seen that.
dawn. Okay.
Oh,
Now the one.
Spy Kids 2001, I've seen that.
Oh, his worst. What the hell are you
Um,
doing?
I've seen a Bill Murray Christmas. I've seen that.
That's like a special.
Well, I've seen it.
It's not a movie. Hail Caesar. You got to watch Hail Caesar. Really good movie. Yeah, there's a few things that you got to get a catch on to because, I mean, you spend all your time watching Colin Firth movies. So what's
I
gonna?
really do, but it's
Yeah,
like why mess with perfection?
that's true. That's true.
Oh,
That
Magic Bubble.
sweet white.
That's a relevant movie for now.
All right. Yeah, The Peacemaker is a good one. One Fine Day. He's done some romantic comedies as well.
He
hmm
has. He's a
hmm
big romantic comedy man.
He's a sex fiend. No, not sex fiend. A sex god.
He kind of is, eh?
Yeah, he might be a sex fiend as well. He might just live on sex. He might just wants to have sex all the time. He's addicted to sex. But we don't know. We're speculating.
We are. Maybe he
So
never sleeps with his
yeah,
wife.
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they
Georgie
have a very
never.
fraught relationship.
now we
This
now
man
we are
has two outhouses. I'm just trying
turning
to tear him
into.
down.
What did you say? Can you say it again?
This is the man that has two outhouses. I'm just trying to tear him down.
Yeah, you gotta. Are you speaking to power? True comedian.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. I mean, we spend a lot of time on George Clooney. It seems like we're kind of come to the end of this episode.
It does feel
Do
like
you
that.
do you want to? It spent really fast. It must have been interesting. So do you think we should do the next bit, or we should just go to save it for the next
I
episode?
think we should just save it.
We got some interesting stuff coming up,
We do.
right? We do.
But once again, though, is our plea for you to follow us on social media. I will also, if you're bored or you've got nothing to do, write us a review on iTunes.
Yeah, give us some stars.
Yeah, we haven't we haven't asked you to do that in a while. So if you're enjoying
Yeah.
it, write a review, share it with a mate, share the podcast with a friend. Your homework this week is to share the podcast with 2 people in your life.
Yeah, and I would suggest that just go in, put in a 5 star, just say you enjoyed the thing. It doesn't take too long to write a review on iTunes, right?
Yeah.
So if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, go and write a review on iTunes. If you're listening on other platforms, just share with people. Download our catalog. We've got lots of gold
We
in
do.
the
Every
bag.
episode is on YouTube. It's on your podcast app. It's on iTunes. It's on Spotify. So you can really get it at all corners. And if you want to follow us on social media, we are basically Baboon Yodel on everything, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. Email us at baboonyodel@gmail.com. Just get at us with your communication. Tell us what you're baking. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us where you are, how you're
Yeah,
handling isolation. We'd love to hear it. We can share some on the show if we get a few.
yeah. If you got if you got an outhouse, let us know how does that outhouse toilet look like.
Yes.
Send us a picture.
100%. We want to see your crappers.
Yeah, what's it all about? Is it a Japanese toilet, or is it a long drop, or is it a portaloo type situation where there's like a nice smelling stuff that takes care of your poop
It
inside the
doesn't smell
toilet?
good.
It doesn't. Really?
It really doesn't.
All right.
And on that note,
Okay.
thank you so much for listening, guys. We appreciate you tuning in. Stay well, stay safe, stay 3 meters apart from any person at any given time. Any final words, Ed?
Anal sex.
Okay.
Cool. Great.
See you later, guys.
Bye.